How long does it take to see results from running? This is a question I was asked last night by one of my subscribers, and when it comes to distance running, you have to have a long-term approach. You have to believe in delayed gratification. I mean, results in our sport do not come overnight. It took me from 1992 to 2007 to break a 2 hour and 20-minute marathon. So there were a lot of ups and downs, a lot of frustrations, a lot of failures, and some successes along the way. But it depends on what your goal is. If you have a very, very competitive spirit and you want to go after a very fast time, your results may take longer. I mean, obviously, if you like myself are lacking in talent and you have to rely on your work ethic, then uh, you know your results may take a little bit longer than somebody has that has a lot more talent. So the main things to keep in mind is obviously do not lose enthusiasm, regardless if you have setbacks along the way and you're putting in the work and you're putting in the mileage and you're still not seeing the results. Sometimes it takes your golden effort, that effort you've been training so hard for, may take maybe a few months down the road, maybe a decade from now. But obviously, you don't have to wait that long to get really good results in distance running. You just have to have a mindset of, a belief in delayed gratification, and obviously you're training properly. If you're training with leverage, your focus is more, okay, what is the specific goal that I have? What is the pace I want to hold for my distance, whether it's a 1 mile event or a marathon race? What is that goal pace that I want to train at? I want to compete at and sustain for the entire distance. And then spend as much time as you can, you know, training far below that goal pace. A lot of times athletes, and myself included, because I've had disappointments over the years as well. We get frustrated and we start to question ourselves, and we think that either our best running is behind us or that we're too old, when it's not really that. That's not really the case. It's there's something going on in our training. There's something that we're doing incorrect in training, that oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes is the real culprit for why we're not getting the results we're seeking. you know, Athletes that work with leverage, leverage simply means doing more with less. So if I'm a big believer in one, heart rate monitor training, and two, quality over quantity training. Higher mileage doesn't always, equate to faster performances. So if you've been putting in high mileage, you've been putting in the work, and you're not seeing the results that you're going for, you simply have to make some changes in your training. If you're doing long runs, maybe you're doing your long runs too slow. Maybe you need to vary up your paces in when you're doing your long runs. I'm a big advocate of very, very challenging long runs, but also not doing hard long runs every single weekend. You know, changing up the way I was doing my long runs and varying up the paces, um, was one of the biggest reasons why I was able to, lower my half marathon PR from 110.29 to 107.06, my 10-mile best from 55.32 to 50.54, and marathon best from 2:43.36 to 2:19.35. So um, I know this works, but I also know that you really have to be patient and just allow yourself time to see those results. Most athletes are very, very highly competitive. They either have a weight loss goal, or they're trying to sustain a specific pace for a specific distance. Um, but when it comes to, how long do you have to wait? That's the big question. And sometimes it's a matter of uh, changing up how you're training, uh, either running less mileage and running more quality mileage. A lot of times it's an issue with either nutrition. Sometimes you need to, obviously, if you're feeling fatigued over a long period of time, it could be something wrong. Either you're running low on iron, you're running low on glutathione, which is the body's master antioxidant. Very, very few athletes know anything about it. And a lot of times, sometimes it's just a matter of getting a blood test. Getting a blood test will obviously show you what mineral or what nutrient, what are you running low on. Back in 2007, I was diagnosed with anemia. I had no idea why I wasn't running. I was running well in practice, but I was still having some issues, and I would get to the race, and I just wasn't producing, and it started to weigh on me. I was like, what on earth am I doing? Am I running too many miles? Am I running, am I running too slow? And getting that blood test and finding out exactly what was the real issue really helped me make those corrections and to start focusing on getting my iron and ferritin levels higher and boosting my glutathione levels. These are areas of training that we don't always focus on. We're always very, very highly um, focused and razor sharp in terms of the physical training, but there's a lot of other things that go into running well. So how long does it take to see results from running really comes down to all the other little details that you need to be focusing on. Obviously you have to have a belief in delayed gratification. You know, everybody wants results fast. And it's normal to want results fast. But if you're patient, if you continue to plan out and continue to monitor what you're doing in training, find out the kinks, find out the leaks in your training, find out what you're doing that isn't getting you the results that you're seeking, and make those corrections. I've created running courses here at RunDreamAchieve.com, and I'll leave the link in this video in the description below, so you can check those out. I've created training programs that are specifically built to get athletes below specific race times, whether it's like a 40-minute 10K time or a 1:20, an hour and 20 minutes for the half marathon. All you got to do is go to the shop page. It's very, very easy. It's just basically you're selecting the event that you want to run, you're selecting the amount of weeks that you want to train, and the page will automatically take you to that. So definitely check out those resources as well. I have plenty of free content on Run Dream Achieve as well. So, how long does it take to see results from running? It can be a matter of months or it can be a matter of years. It just depends on what your goal is. For me personally, it was to, back years ago, it was to break a 2 hour and 22-minute marathon, which comes out to 5 minutes and 25 seconds per mile for 26.2 miles. So I had more of a realization that obviously that was going to take years to achieve. So, there's obviously short-term goals that you have to create and make some long-term goals. Make it challenging and don't expect it to be easy. Especially if it's it's something that you really want to do and you're willing to put in that work for the months and years that is required, it's definitely worth it in the end. So with that, if you haven't yet subscribed to these videos, definitely click the subscribe button and click the bell icon. That way, anytime I make a new video, you'll be notified. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Feel free to leave me a comment. My goal is definitely with this YouTube channel is to help as many athletes as I can to get you the results that you're seeking and to get you to a point where you're using leverage so you can get better results by working less. The answers are not always by working harder. Obviously I know that you know how to work hard, obviously you wouldn't be here. So the majority of distance runners that I've known over the years, past 28 years of competing, are highly disciplined, highly focused athletes. So it's not always, most of the time it's just there's some leaks in the training, how athletes are training in training that are not producing the results that the athlete wants. So I try to figure out what is the issue and adjust that for the athlete, either by free content on RunDreamAchieve.com or the running courses that I've created or the training programs. So I'll leave the links to those in the description of this video, and definitely feel free to check that out. And with that, hope you have a great day, great evening, great afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and I'll talk to you next time.